I was just putting myself in position to get the rebound. Just holding off my man and just going up, jumping as hard as I can, and they just kept coming to me. So it's kind of easy when they just fall in your hands.
And David, I believe you had 9 of the first 11 points in the game. What was going on with you to start the game?
They were just giving me the ball. The Denver's not as big, and we kind of talked about focusing on getting the ball inside a little bit after the last game, and we took advantage of them switching, and they were just giving me the ball.
And either one of you, what was the reaction, or do you know anything about Justin, how he is?
You should be fine.
And your medical training was.
Nah, he should be all right though.
Yeah. What was the reaction when you saw him down on the ground, seemingly with a knee injury? Was any concern on the team, or what were you feeling at that point?
You hate to see a teammate go down, no matter who it is. No matter what the cause, no matter how small, no matter how big. You just hate to see a teammate go down. You hate to see your teammate in pain. So, like I said, everything's fine with him. He's good. He should be back on the court tomorrow, whatever.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was nothing bad.
So how were you guys so successful at preventing the guys, Denver from cutting in the first half? It seems like they're never getting the ball inside at all.
We practiced. We went through the scout a lot, and we in practice we did a lot of back cuts. So we just wanted to chest them up, don't let them back cut, don't lose vision of the ball. Make them take the dribble handoff, and that's what we did. And sure enough, it was working.
Dave, would you say there's a little more polish to your offensive game this season as you're working on your mid-range game, whether it's in the key or on the baseline?
Yeah, I think just going into any offseason, anybody's thinking to get better. You just got to put the time in, and I definitely put the time in. The jumper wasn't falling as much as I would have hoped, but yeah, I put a lot of time in this offseason. With my post game, just touch and then mid-range. So, yeah.
And how are you gratified? Is it coming along with you?
Yeah, except for that air ball, but it happens. It happens.
But it took the rim.
Yeah, it took the rim. If the rim was like 4 feet wide.
This one's kind of for both of you. Last year, at times, you were a little undisciplined, showed a little youth, but this year you guys are arguably younger and were a lot more polished defensively against a Princeton offense. What is it? It's just you guys are more focused as a group, or is that due to you guys being the older guys kind of?
I think it's got to do with the leadership on the teams. I think more grounded or more just solid. And especially after last year, we started out like 6-7-0, and we were thinking we were everything, and then we had a huge lull. And I think that's one thing we really gotta focus on, just one game at a time. No matter what happens in the past is in the past, and we just gotta build on every performance, build on every game. We can't take what we did for granted, because the next game's gonna be it's a new challenge, and we're not just gonna roll over anyone.
Richard, you had 2 blocks on the game, including one that seemed to end up at Channing. Arena. I guess what is the tandem that you guys bring to? You guys blocked a lot last year. What are you guys looking to accomplish this year on that front?
Well, when me and David get after, we could both rebound the ball. You seen David his freshman year go for 17 rebounds. I just went for 16 tonight. We could both get it going offensively, and we both love to block shots. So when we get going, we can be pretty good. We're long, athletic. We could jump. We like to rebound. That's the one thing about us. We like to rebound. We like to get the ball too. But when we're in sync, we're pretty good.
Talk about your defense against an offense that can be a little troublesome at times.
Well, I was pleased. We worried about the back cuts. They set you up. They back cut. They get layups. We tried to not let them back cut. We tried to make them come to the DHOs. I really thought one. What's it? 23. We got Olsen. And Olsen's a good shooter, and Justin wanted the challenge of guarding him, and I thought he did a really good job. The main thing you have to do against Denver is maintain your concentration, because they kind of lull you to sleep. They cut, and the next thing you know, a guy starts the same place he just did the last time, and you start to go and he back cuts, and there's a bounce pass. I thought Justin did a really good job of keeping him from getting those. You know, and for that matter, you know, we generally did a good job. I thought a couple guys got burned once or twice on back cuts, but generally speaking, did not. So it forced him on around the perimeter all the time. We had pretty good defensive intensity across the board. One little stretch I thought where we got a little bit complacent or tired or whatever, that they looked like all of a sudden they were going to get more shots. I think start of second half they came out with a little bit more clearer idea. But I thought generally we did a good job of taking them out what they wanted to do. You know, Olsen, I was a little bit surprised he didn't look to score a little bit more. And I was a little bit surprised Udofia didn't look to score a little bit more and be more aggressive at point of attack than he was.
You obviously went inside to take advantage of your size advantage. Just talk about Richard's rebounding though today.
Richard was a beast on the boards. He really was. You know, mostly defensive glass, but some offense. They play a switching man-to-man, essentially. And if you stand, then they'll match up. But what we tried to do was to force a guard to switch on a big and then come back at him. And we did a good job. David was a recipient of that in the first half, I thought, fairly consistently, where David had a smaller player, we were able to drop it to him. The other thing is, I think that we did a pretty good job at point of attack of creating foul situations. 25 foul shots, which is good, and only took 7 threes, so we didn't fall prey to just trying to shoot it first time. We took it at the basket and did a pretty good job that way. So I thought that was good.
And what was your thinking in starting Jabari in this game?
Well, honestly, it's
I know it was really
the first five. No, I mean it's a valid question from the standpoint that Ricky didn't do anything wrong. He's played really well. But in order to try to keep 3 veterans on the floor, say at all times with say 2 preps, then I've got to have somebody come on. I can't just bring 1 freshman, bring 2 freshmen, bring 3 freshmen because that's what I'm bringing off the bench. So my thought process was to start with one of the freshmen, bring Ricky in either at the 4 to rest, you know, David. Now I've got another veteran. Now I could bring another, you know, then I could move Rick out, take, say, Jabari if I needed to, or one of the other guys, and put it so that I would have experienced players on the floor with the younger players. And I think that's a decent strategy. Now, I felt bad for Rick a little bit in that he got 2 quick fouls early, one on kind of an erroneous trip that just happened, and so he got caught up in the foul situation. But I need the veterans out there. I need their presence with some of these young guys to help stabilize them. And frankly, Ricky's been our best communicator of all of our guys in terms of helping those kids out where they're supposed to be. So that was the thought process.
You also played, it seemed like, for much of the game, a shorter bench tonight. Is that just the way the game flowed, or?
Not really. I played Jeff early as a 4, but you know, Rick, Sam, Jordan, that's 8. You know, I don't know how much farther I'm going to go than that. Jeff played some in the first half, 9. So, you know, if I move a 4 and move David over to the 5 and Rich comes out, then, you know, you got 3 rotation there and you got pretty much 5 perimeters. That's about 8 guys. And so, you know, I'm not going to substitute for substitution's sake. Doesn't make much sense. I don't think the minutes were prohibitive tonight in terms of what guys had. Thought we were able to rest guys, although, well, no. Well, I guess that's UCLA stats, so I probably wouldn't see much there. All right, so I mean, I don't know what the minutes are, but I don't think they're.
3 guys played 30.
Yeah, 30's fine. 30's fine.
Coach, speaking of Sam Singer, what did you see out of his performance tonight? Do you see him as a constant fixture in the rotation?
I like Sam. You know, we can move Ty to the 1. Sam, obviously, it's a tough position to play, the 1. So, you know, if I have him in, do I have, you know, who do I have at the 2? I mean, I might have him and have Justin at the 2, for example. Put Justin in a more scoring situation in the 2 bigs. Sam shot the ball well. He's a good shooter. He's going to gain confidence as he goes along. I thought Sam did a good job. We like Sam. We like all of our freshmen. It's just a situational thing. We also have some veterans that have won a lot of games for us, and we need to be mindful of that.
Frank Tomorrow's letter of intent day, do you expect to sign 1, 2, 3, what do you think?
Probably not going to have any news to start with. You know, it's lots of interesting going-ons out there. So no, we're not going to have anything probably for you.
Coach, how do you think Jabari handled the start? Struggled a bit early, but then came on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jabari's, you know, obviously very, very capable, and he's going to be really good. And he probably was nervous a little bit. You know, he wants to be really good, and you just kind of have to keep working, and he'll be fine. As he gets his feet under him and gets more comfortable with the offense and more comfortable where his shots are going to come from. I'd like to see him rebound the ball, you know, and get part of. It's like if you're a football player and you're nervous, you go out there, what you want to do is hit somebody. You want to get that nervousness out of your system. Go get a board. Go bang somebody. But, you know, it's going to be for all these young players, they're going to just need to get game experience and figure out how to be most effective.